Sister Silverine, Ambassador Extraordinaire of PAIN, Parental Alienation Awareness International Network, and we are talking about From Pain to Healing, where we're going to have a series of talks on Sundays from 5:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sankhya TV. Thank you.
So Sister Silverine, once again, I want to thank you for making time to sit with me and have these conversations. The topic is, in fact, a very vast one. We have covered a lot of different areas and different topics, all delving into the human being and, by extension, society. Now, one thing that I was wondering, and it's both a social and a personal, in terms of the individual question, is that of corruption. Because a lot of people who are going through the process of divorce or the process of having arrangements made when it comes to taking care of the child, in terms of separation, we have the custody, we have the child maintenance, all these things. A lot of people feel that they are not being treated fairly by the system. Now, my question to you today doesn't have to do with the workings of the judicial system or any of the systems, but the question has to do with corruption in terms of how does it come about in a society?
Good. Even though it's a topic that we have never really thought about, there are many aspects to it. Why would someone be corrupt or think about doing corrupt things? The number one reason why someone will be corrupt is because of fear. Number one. Other things like being selfish and so on will come afterwards. For example, the first sign of fear, the first sign of being corrupt is telling lies. And to tell a lie means that deep within you, you are either insecure, you are either suffering from fear. Because just the fact of wanting to tell a lie or having to tell a lie, it means you are hiding some information. And the reason you are hiding some information is because there is a fear of if you speak, it could have some negative repercussion. So behind each lie that someone says, there is fear. And of course, all these lies, the simple fact of telling lie is, yes, a corrupt mind. Because if someone is truthful, someone is honest, and he honestly speaks whatever he has in mind, that honest mind person could never suffer from fear. You know why? Because once your mind is clean, your heart is clean, mind is clear, you're honest, it clearly shows that you don't have fear inside. But once there is fear of something or the other, that individual or that mind will be pushed to tell lies. Why? It's because he's trying to cover or hide something that could lead to other bigger problems, or who knows, bigger issues. So in order to hide that issue or cover up for something, here this individual has to tell a lie. And what happens after that? You tell one lie on a situation or about a situation, and you would realize that you have to tell 10 or more lies to fully cover that situation in such a way that you are not exposed. So telling one lie will lead that individual to tell much more lies. Because if you tell a lie in an initial stage and later on you cannot lie again, then you will be exposed. So you have to make up lots of lies to cover up or to hide that situation that you fear. If it comes to the open, it will cause some kind of upheaval, maybe in your life or someone else's life. So that individual who tells a lie is an individual who is literally suffering inside also, and not only from fear and insecurity, but there may be other issues with that person that would instigate him or make his mind, turn his mind in such a way, corrupt his mind, to lead him to tell lies. So yes, a corrupt mind is a mind that will tell lies. And secondly, if there is selfish motives. Selfish motives mean, let's say we are talking about parental alienation. And in parental alienation, we have two individuals, both parents, who are either fighting for custody or there is disputes, whatever, court dispute between them. And you will find that either one want full custody of the child. Now that, the simple fact that one parent does not want another parent to have full rights over the child also, it is because of selfish motives, selfish reasons. Why would both parents not have full rights over their child? And the simple fact of one parent wanting all the attention and all the time of the child and not allowing the other parent clearly shows that there is some selfish motive in that also. And that selfish motive could mean that either he or she wants to use this child for some monetary gains or financial gains, or could even use the child against the other partner for some other reason. It could be relationship reasons also. Because normally when one partner leaves one spouse, they go and they get another. And so once there is a third person in this one's life, then that second person in that person's life then try to use this child against a third person, which we will call either a stepmother or stepfather. And in that also there will be lies. And it's very, very difficult to find people, individuals today, who will speak the total truth. in many, many relationships and many, many situations and issues that we face on a daily basis, the majority of them has some percentage of lies. And all of these things really shows how corrupt the human mind can be. There is corruption from the level of thoughts. And this clearly shows us that we as individuals, human beings, at present, we are spiritually weak. And spiritually weak individuals tend to be in this category where they don't mind telling lies. They don't mind if someone says that they are corrupt. And that clearly shows that emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, they are weak. Because if someone is spiritually, emotionally, and mentally strong, and they have their own, let us call it, mental and emotional conviction, that if I tell the truth no matter what, I will be clean and clear in my motives, my intentions, no matter what happens afterwards. Once you tell the truth, you know that you are saved. That is spiritual strength. So it needs a kind of mental, emotional, and spiritual strength to be able to tell the truth. And whilst human beings are weak mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, they will tend to tell lies. They will tend to choose the corrupt side instead of choosing the honest side to get what they want to get. And even if an entity, as you were mentioning, decide that, in order for us to get over this, we also have to support what is not right. And we see it happening, not to mention anybody's name or any organization, but you do find it. It is present everywhere. To find totally honest individuals or totally honest organizations might be difficult in these times, because each individual have inside of them some sort of selfish motives. And it's the motive behind whatever someone is doing, the motive behind what they're doing, that pushes them to either tell a lie or the truth. But if you are clean and honest, totally clean and pure at heart, then you will not have selfish motives for any gains, whether it is for status or position, for fame, for name, for financial gains, whatever it may be. But in my understanding, where there is honesty in the heart, honesty in mind, then that kind of honesty produces such energy about you that all good things will come to you. That's my experience. That's my understanding. Once you're clean at heart, once you're pure at heart, you're honest, there is this cleanliness within you. You are generating such pure energy about you that whatever you do is totally clean and pure. Then that energy will attract goodness. Whatever energy you are carrying about in yourself, through the way you think, whatever you are generating, others will be attracted to you because of that energy that you are giving out. So once you are pure at heart, you are clean in your intentions, your motives, that kind of personalities, people will be attracted to you. There is a saying in Hindi that a thief thinks that everyone is a thief. And so when someone tells a lie, Someone who constantly tells a lie will start thinking that others tell lies also. And you will find that these individuals end up with others of that same level that will also tell lies. And so when there is only lies flowing amongst relationships, then the result will be more and more conflict and corruption. Because like each one trying to gain from someone else, from the other. I am trying to gain from you, and you are trying to gain from me. So there is this kind of conflict, corruption between persons. And in that there is a lots of lies. And why do they tell lie? It's because they think that if I do not tell him this lie, I will not get through with what I want. So lies could be, of course, make-up lies, false things. And secondly, if I do not lie, I will not be able to hide the truth. The truth hides behind a lie. But there is a good saying also that the truth is always there, present, and at some point the truth will reveal itself. You do not have to prove yourself. The truth cannot be proven. The truth cannot be proven. The truth exists, and truth is eternal. And where there is truth, there is peace of mind. And if someone is not at peace, it clearly shows that there is some sort of untruth inside. There are lies happening inside. And those individuals who tell lies, they cannot rest in peace. They cannot sleep in peace. Because lies come back to haunt you, you know. They'll be haunted by those lies. When people tell you that, I cannot sleep, there is some reason why you cannot sleep. Either there is fear, and that fear is because of some untruth, something they have done, which is not clean, which involved telling lies, and this is the result today. And so, when we meditate, we begin to really check ourselves and say, what is really happening within us? So going back to this question of being at peace. To be at peace, you really need to be clean in mind, in heart, honest with yourself as well as with others. And where there is honesty and where there is truth, there will be peace of mind. And this is how you can start developing peace of mind.
Now, one question I have you say that when people, they speak untruths or they lie, or either they have selfish goals, that this leads to corruption of the individual or a system, if they are involved in a system. So then, is it then that our environment does not corrupt us if we are around individuals who are themselves corrupted or are themselves selfish? They have selfish desires, so they seek by any means necessary, or people who they constantly lie. Is it that when we are around such individuals that we ourselves become corrupted, or can we protect ourselves?
Of course, yeah. Nice question. So, not necessarily being in the company of corrupt individuals that one have to be corrupt or become corrupt or get contaminated because someone else is corrupt. No, that's a choice. Everyone has the power to choose. Now, let's say myself. The world is corrupt. That's general. We know there is corruption everywhere. Now, we could choose to be corrupt also. But why would I choose not to be corrupt? Why would I choose to be different? Because I have understood that corrupt mind cannot sleep in peace. But where there is truth and honesty, there is peace. And I can rest peacefully. So, even if a society is corrupt, even if there are corrupt members in your home circle, not necessarily you have to be corrupt. No, you do not have to. You can choose otherwise because you understand differently. And not everyone in a home, in a family, are the same, you know. There will be someone in a family who can think different, who are different, who choose to be different. In society also, there will always be one who is honest, who is different. And that one has chosen to be different. Why? Because his level of understanding is different. His way of seeing things are different. So it's a lot. Each one thinks differently. Each one's vision is different. And even though there may be many individuals who think alike, you'll also find someone who thinks totally the opposite. Who will also realize that this is not right. How they're thinking, their motives are not right. And that one could choose if he wants to join this gang or if he wants to be different. So in the end, it's a matter of choice. I choose to be the way I want to be. I decide to be how I want to be. The society don't decide for me. The society don't choose for me. So no one should ever blame society or the world for being how they want to be. That's a choice. Everything, whatever or however you live your life, how you are living your life, is the way you choose to live it. No one can tell you how to live your life. If someone gives his or her opinion, how you should live your life, that is their opinion. In the end, it's me who take the decision. I choose. So it's a matter of choice. It's a matter of using my intellect to decide how I want to live my life. The example is that, let's say you have to go to a party this evening, but you're having two minds. One mind is telling you, don't go, and one mind is telling you to go. So you're undecided at the moment. But so because you're undecided, you call your best friend, who is also invited to the party, and you're asking him if you should go or not because you're having two minds. And he also in the same situation. I don't know if to go also because this is the way I feel and so on. So then he tell you, okay, well, let's go. And both of you decided to go. Now, who decided for you, dear? You were having two minds, to go or not to go. You call your best friend. He says, let's go. Who decided for you? That was not your decision. So it means you used someone else's intelligence. You acted on the basis of someone else's decision and not your decision. Now, if you keep on, or anybody for that matter of fact, keep on taking ideas and opinions and decisions from others, which means that that individual does not have the ability to think for himself, to decide for himself, to judge for himself, to make his choices, his own choices. That one has given up his life for the person who is making decisions for him. So what starts happening to this individual who cannot even think for himself? He starts becoming subservient to someone else. because he's not deciding for himself. He doesn't even know how to run his own life. His wife is running his life for him. You hear these things. And vice versa. She doesn't know how to live. Her husband decides for her how to live. Or even children. And there are even children who tell their parents how to live. You have to do this, you have to do the next for me. Children start ruling their parents from a young age. So you find all kinds of personalities. So you have to decide how you want to live. And that depends on the choices and the decisions you take in your life. However each one is today, they have created that personality based on the way they think and the choices they have taken in their lives. And that's why there is a beautiful saying that says, the quality of my life depends on the quality of my thoughts, which clearly shows us that however we are today, the basis of my life depended on how I was thinking all these years. So how I think, I began to create this life that I have today. So if I am not happy the way I am living, if I am not happy, I'm not at peace with myself, then what needs to be changed? Not society, not the world, not the laws of the land, but I need to change the way I think. Because the way I think is the seed. Every thought is like a seed that we are planting. And these seeds are giving their fruits. And the fruit means my life today is the fruit of my thoughts.
So, unfortunately, we have come to the end of today's episode.
Yes.
And this is, of course, like all topics that we discuss, a very broad one.
Yes.
And in the following episode, we will continue along the lines of what we were discussing. And once again, I want to thank you for making time to sit with me and have these discussions. And I ask you once again to see me yet another time, next week, same time, same place on Sankhya TV, as we continue our discussions from pain to healing.
Nice. Thank you.
Join us globally every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Sankhya Television as Parental Alienation Awareness International Network, PAIN, presents Ambassador Extraordinaire Brahma Kumari's Sister Silverine Mangru with the series From Pain to Healing.
This program is sponsored by Sampex Limited, Networking Societies for a Better Future.